Bring me the axe. I'm Anna Rumor with Pop Culture.
And I'm Nick Valdez from comicbook.com.
And this is Dragged, where we offer up our unfiltered opinions about RuPaul's Drag Race with no wire hangers. This week we're going in on episode 6 of All Stars 8. We've got the Joan Crawford Rusical. Nick, what did you think about this week's episode?
I loved it. I don't know what it is about the musicals lately, but they've gotten so much better. The last few seasons too. It used to be the worst episode.
I agree, honestly.
But yeah, I found myself jamming out to these songs, and wow, I had a great time. And not to mention, bring me the axe, right?
Bring me that axe. Okay, let's get into the Rusical. We're already talking about it. So we've got Joan, the unauthorized Rusical. That title always makes me laugh. And right off the bat, we've got Kahanna opening the show. What did you think about her Young Joan number?
She was good. That's the thing. Everyone is good. Mm-hmm. But because everyone's so good, it makes her good not stand out as much as who we see later. You know, she's missing that little bit of pop. She's in her head about it.
I agree. I think that her choreo was great. She did well. Technically, the vocals were fine, whatever. And it was just that spark in the eyes, looking like she was being there in the moment on stage that was missing from me. But again, she did well. Everyone just did really well. So she was kind of near the bottom of the list for me.
Same here, especially when she's followed by James, who, James Mansfield is the performer.
Yes.
And, we got some signs early on that she would be killing this too, when they were actually doing the recordings. James brought the theatricality to it. I was a big fan of the Mommy Dearest line in every, in the hook.
Yeah.
And James's voice was perfect for this.
She was giving me Joan. I mean, there were very few of the girls who were actually giving me Joan. They did a good job, but they weren't giving me Joan. James was giving me Joan. She did so well. And they were like, oh, well, you missed a few steps. I didn't notice that at all. Her dance didn't seem like it was that important to what she was doing. I don't know. I thought she did really well. I was really shocked at where she ended up with this.
Right. I'm in the same boat. I thought she was just kind of walking around the stage.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, are those steps that she was hitting or missing? Okay.
I don't know what it's supposed to look like, so I can't tell if it's wrong.
Yeah, same here. And it's definitely not as elaborate as some of the ones we get later. We get next with Candy Muse. Candy Muse probably had one of the most elaborate in the show overall. The no more wire hangers and the wire hanger itself. I love me a big prop, and there we go, Candy. This is the Candy I love. The Candy who's here to really go for it. She was hitting the notes, and it was a fun song, and I'm a big fan of just the swinging the hanger around,
This was so fun. Arguably the most fun song for me. I think this was the standout. I understood why she fought for it. But she did a great job. Her vocals were wonderful. Her dancing was great. It was funny. This is Candy Muse star power. This is what I'm talking about when I think she's a star. I love this. I thought she did a really good job. I think this is either my top or my second favorite performance of the Rusical.
Yeah, it's tough because she's got that star quality, and if you don't got that star quality, you get out of here. But especially when compared to Jessica Wilde, who they ended up auditioning, which is just a fun little thing that I think all the queens should do from now on. Instead of fighting over a part, just audition for it, right? And Jessica ultimately lost, but got the rocker song, and it was a much better fit for her. She came out swinging, and she was so good. I was like, yes, this is Jessica Wilde. Yes, thank you.
She came out swinging that axe around. It was so funny watching her try to get that line. I thought she did a great job. Now, again, neither she nor Candy were really giving me Joan much, but they were doing such a good job. I don't know if I really cared, or if that's the assignment even.
I 100% agree. It was definitely like, that was Candy and this is Jessica, but at the same time, I'm loving it. So who am I? Like, I don't care. I'm just like, yes, kill it, yes.
Now, my next contender for favorite, it's back and forth between her and Candy, was Lala Ri coming out doing this like hand slapping all face number. She killed it. I thought she did an amazing job. This is why Lala's back on All Stars. She has not really been impressing us so far, but this is why she's a star. This kind of thing.
Lala is such good TV when she gets to do everything that she can do, you know, and this was the perfect example of it. Just like you said, it was incredible. She was giving so much face. The slapping part, it was just so funny, so well timed. I honestly thought she was gonna get the win at the end of this.
Honestly, so did I, but I mean, the producers do love Candy, so I'm not surprised that they took the opportunity to give her one, but Lala did so well. She could have easily earned that win, and man, she is just star power, and that face is so expressive and so beautiful. Her vocals were really cool too. I think she had the most interesting vocal approach.
It was just a fun song, and see, this was the hard part too, because like the songs were actually fun, so it was one after another after another. So going back to Kahana, I hate to kick someone while they're down, but it's like, when you see the follow-up performances, it's like, oh. You know, the unfortunate thing is it happens with Alexis Michelle as well. She gets this super complicated, super elaborate song, super like elaborate dance number 2, but it's just not as exciting musically as the others.
It's so tough because this was easily the most challenging number, vocally, with the dance, all of that. She killed it, but it wasn't really as good of a song, not as good of like an opportunity in my opinion. So I think she did a really good job. She was giving Joan Crawford, but like it wasn't my favorite of their performances. It just didn't have that chance, at least for me, to be the best performance.
She didn't really have that space to do more. She was already doing so much to just get what she needed to do down that like, unfortunately, she was probably so focused on that she didn't get to play around with it. When you see the little bit of flair and spark from the others who get to have that moment, with her, it's just, she was good. This is why she's also here. You know, she's the theater queen. Of course, we know this about Alexis.
She won't let us forget.
Yes, and she was so good, but you know, it's this competition, this musical. Everyone's just doing well.
After Alexis comes Jimbo as Hag Joan Crawford, which is easily the best role for her. And again, she didn't do bad, but she didn't kill it like some of the other people. So she was kind of near the lower end for me as well.
Yeah, Jimbo's been so dominant in this competition. This is really the turning point where we're either going to see Jimbo struggle in these challenges that are really fit for other queens, or we're going to see Jimbo like kind of kill it. And here it's just safe is fine. You know, it gets her through to the next week, but at the same time, it's like, okay, Jimbo, you really got to be careful from now on.
Yeah, especially because if she ends up in the bottom once, I suspect she's going home. Let's talk about the runway Night of 1,000, Grace Jones's wonderful, wonderful choice for the Night of 1,000 runway this season. I'm very excited about this. As always, I am a little bit disappointed that they are not allowed to use like editorial photos, because a lot of these looks I was like, I don't know if these are the most iconic Grace Jones looks, but we work with what we've got, and what we've got is Getty Images.
And, you know, it's one of those challenges that's like, oh, why didn't you do this before? The same thing with the Joan Crawford musical. Yeah. It's like, oh, it took this long, 8 All-Star seasons to do this.
Yeah, truly, truly. And we start off with Kahana coming out in this beautiful red Vegas number. I mean, she looks great. She always looks great. She looks like the picture. Wonderful. Kahanna, if you don't give me something else, I'm gonna freak out soon. I love you. You look great. I need variety, just even a little bit.
So my funny thing with that is I actually liked it more because she wasn't as a serving body as she has been the last few runways. I'm fine with the Vegas thing if she's, you know, more into the glamour of it than like, okay, we get it, Kahanna, you're gorgeous. We get it. But also, I'm fine with, you know, just a little bit of room for play. Like, you know, just
only 70% naked. Yeah. Up next, all my criticism for that pales when James walks out next in this. I mean, I don't know if I should criticize Grace Jones or criticize James for this because I didn't like it on Grace and I did not like it on James. This is like fox hood pant. This is horrible. Why would you choose this?
I don't know, James. I felt so bad because, you know, she did say it's a different kind of look for her, you know, in terms of conceptually. It is basically the complete opposite of what we see her do usually as her brand. But this, it's like, oh, did this need a few more minutes in the lab? And she didn't quite get it before the big time. This was a huge stumble. Much huger than we expected seeing it first, but that sucks.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, the look wasn't my favorite to begin with, the original look, but then the pants fit weird. I didn't see the back of Grace Jones's outfit, but James's like had a hole in the back for her bun. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't like so much about it. As opposed to Candy Muse, where I liked like 80% of it. She comes out with this very cool geometrical look that I loved from the front, thought was super cool. And then she turns around from the back and it's unfished. I see straps, I see a zipper. It's a leotard that she glued something on. Candy, finish your looks, please. I really want to like them.
Just as James has had a lot of issues with weird fits in the last couple of runways, Candy loves to front load her garments. You know, she loves making the statement when she walks out, but not necessarily the same statement that she walks away with. And, you know, but that's the thing. It's like, is it a great enough statement on that first walkthrough? And yes, I will say it is a good look. It was good for Candy. This is the Candy I love. You know, we'll just pretend that it's only the front part of the outfit.
Honestly, I like the front so much that I am willing to pretend that the back part of the outfit doesn't exist, but I did have to note it at first. But I really did like the front. Candy, just give her like 5 more minutes or something, because man. Well, next up we have Jessica, who comes out in this purple hooded look, but she added a little bit more fabric tube in the original look. And I don't know if I love that choice, but I love this whole garment on her.
I'm the same way. I don't know if I liked what she changed from the original look, but it looks great on her. She looks incredible. That purple is just like, so royal. And I'm like, yes, this is Jessica Wilde. Thank you. Like, I don't know, I found myself saying a lot like this episode. Just, yes, thank you, Jessica. Thank you for being you.
I love her. I swear to God, if she could come out, Grace Jones, Joan Crawford comes out just as Jessica for both of them, and I'm fine with it. Loved it. She did have a zipper on the back too, but I'll forgive the zipper because I really liked it in general. I mean, if I'm forgiving it for Candy.
Yes, right? Yeah, we just forgave Candy. So yeah, you're fine, Jessica. You're fine.
Okay, now I'm curious what you think about Lala coming out in this two-faced look, because I liked it, but I didn't love it. I wanted to love it.
Maybe it's because I love Lala so much, but I like this. I thought it was just a good look for Lala, because Lala is one of the few contestants who, like, when she really can wear a look, she really gets it. But, you know, we've also seen that when she has some concepts that don't really pay off. And so this one was kind of stuck in the middle. I get why the judges were saying they wanted more, but for me, I was getting served Lala. I get why Lala's in the top, but not necessarily the winner.
Especially when Alexis comes up afterward in this look. This was by far my favorite look of the evening. She comes out with this like impeccably crafted hat with this beautiful layered black look, strong shoulders. I really love this. I love getting to see her like bone structure without the hair too.
Alexis, like, see, this is the stuff we were asking for. Like, we've
Yes.
seen gowns and gowns and gowns from Alexis, but when she wears a full concept like this, she kills it. Like, this was the only unfortunate thing I felt about this week, was that Alexis did well, but she didn't do well enough to be critiqued in any way.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted her to get her flowers for both the not like nailing that musical, but also nailing this look. Just being safe is a little tough for me this week because she did so well, but when you look at that look, it's like, it's more than safe. That deserved at least some praise. When you're followed by Jimbo who gives us the glamour. See, that's the thing. I love this look from Jimbo, and we still got to see the little bit of goofiness to it with the hat hair.
Yeah.
And it just, after you follow Alexis, it's just not as impressive, you know?
I had the same thought, especially because they were both kind of like structural cage items on both looks, that I was like, oh, Alexis just did that like better. But you did it great too, so they put you back to back. It's sabotage. So when we come down to the judging, no surprise, Kandi and Lala are in our top, and Kandi ends up our winner. I agree, based on both runway and the musical. So I don't think there was any kind of like rigor mortis there. But the bottom, I was shocked to see 𝐿 and James there. I know James's outfit was woof, but she did so well on stage.
The lip sync was ultimately Kandi versus a returning Angeria. Angeria for All Stars 9 also, please. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I love Angeria more on my TV. I was like, yes, I was so excited. But Kandi absolutely killed that. Like, she turned up that spice factor. Like, I'm like, oh, am I watching the Spice Channel? Like, this is...
I'm fanning myself watching it. She looked great in that little black number with the like Pam Anderson wig rolling around on the ground there. Get it, girl. She looked really amazing. She bodied this.
Thank you, Kandi. If you have that star quality, that's what I'm saying. This whole episode was just me going, yes, I love you, Kandi. Yes, I love you, Jessica. Yes, thank you.
It's so funny. Candy's not like my favorite queen because sometimes she ticks me off just like being herself. But she has such star quality because when she's ticking me off, I have strong opinions about it. When she's rolling around on the ground, I'm like, yes, girl, yes. Like,
speaking of, right? Like, Kandi wins the lip sync, and it turns out she chose James to send home, which is mind-blowing. There goes track record, right?
Right? Oh my God. See, this is that star quality where it's like, I thought we were going off track record. Because you literally just said that's what we're doing. And then she's like, actually, no, I'm taking out James because she's better than 𝐿 at Drag Race. And I'm like, you saucy little minx, how dare you?
They just had an entire episode of fighting over what Kandi would really do in this competition, right? Like, Kandi, like, and if this doesn't show that Kandi will come for you the first chance she gets, I don't know what does, right? But this is also why she's here. This is also why I love Kandi. You're playing the game, like, go for the jugular. I'm gonna miss James, because James was growing on me. If it means a good Kandi moment, I'll take it.
Listen, I love good TV more than I love, fair gameplay. Next week, we are getting another acting challenge. We're getting Forensic Queens. So that's going to be like... I'm ready for it. I would grab my magnifying glass, I guess. I'm excited for that one, too. It'll be fun. A little bit sad that James went home before another acting challenge, and 𝐿 will have to struggle through the next one, as we have seen in the preview for next week. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic.
Oh, yeah, it looks like more drama, too. So here we go. Game is starting. Here we go.
Well, we will be here to recap all of it with you. Super excited to talk about next week's episode. So come back every week here on Drag to talk more about Drag Race with us.